Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I am doing another book tag, and this one is called the Coffee Book Tag. I apologize in advance for my voice and my nose. We've had a bit of cold-like stuff going around here. Personally, I think it's allergies and seasonal change, but so if I sound a little off, it's because of my stuffed up all this. So anyways, the coffee book tag I found on Pinterest on a blog called, what's it called? This Splendid Shambles. And she says that she saw it on YouTube, so I will link both her blog and the original creator of this tag in the description below so you guys can check it out. It has 8 questions, I think, so it's a pretty quick tag, and of course it's all about coffee. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. The first question is, Black, name a series that's tough to get into and has hardcore fans. And for that I picked Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I am ashamed to admit that I almost DNF'd Red Rising. I almost didn't finish reading it because it was so not what I was expecting. It's very brutal, and I think I knew it was adult sci-fi, but I am not very familiar with that, or at least when I read this book I wasn't very familiar with that genre, and I didn't really know what to expect. So it kind of took me a little bit to get used to. It's very intense, but it's amazing and I love it, and it's one of my top favorites series ever. So this one for me was tough to get into, but once you're in the fandom, it's intense. There are hardcore Red Rising fans. So that's my answer for number 1. Number 2 is Peppermint Mocha. Name a book that gets popular during the winter or a festive time of year. So this one was a little bit difficult for me because I read a lot of fantasy and sci-fi, and I don't ever read contemporary fiction or like romances or anything, so I don't read a lot of like seasonal books. That being said, I have one book that kind of revolves around a winter, a wintry type festivity or holiday, and that is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. In this book, the main theme is what they call solstice, so they celebrate the winter solstice instead of Christmas. So this is really the only like winter festive-y themed book that I have. So that is my answer for number 2. Number 3, Hot Chocolate. What is your favorite children's book? So for this one, my favorite children's book is The Two Princesses of Bamaray by Gail Carson Levine. And I don't actually have a physical copy of it, so I will have to pop it up here so you guys can see what it looks like. I love all of her books. And when I was little, like when I was a little girl, I loved to, they were just so like magical. The Two Princesses and Ella Enchanted and all of those were just the best. They're really good children's literature. Number 4, Double Shot of Espresso. Name a book that kept you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. And this one was actually really hard because there are a lot of books that I just like inhaled because they were so good. But one that had me on the edge of my seat the entire time I was reading it was Kingdom of Ash. And unlike my normal self, I took my time reading this one, so I was like having anxiety for like a month straight because it took me a really long time to finish it because, you know, it's gigantic. So this book has so many different things happening in it and so many different like plot lines and plot twists and all this crazy stuff. It was just a very intense read. I am afraid to reread it. Number 5, Starbucks. Name a book you see everywhere. I'm just going to have to go off of what I see on Instagram because like bookstore shopping is not really a thing for me anymore. So a book that I see all the time on Instagram is Serpent and Dove, and for obvious reasons because it's one, hilarious, and I really like the characters, and it's a great witchy, entertaining, I don't know, there's like serious stuff in here, but it's also very entertaining. Definitely up there on one of my funnier books that I've ever read. Number 6, That Hipster Coffee Shop. Give a book by an indie author a shout out. Reading indie books is kind of a new thing for me. I have always kind of stayed away just because I don't have a lot of time to read, and you don't always know what you're gonna get. I'm not saying that all indie books I think are, you know, not good, and that only, you know, professionally published books are good, which is completely not true, because I've read so many awful books that have been published by big publishing houses and they were just the worst. I just did not like them. So anyways, reading indie books is a new thing for me, and it's something that I'm really starting to enjoy. And I just wanted to shout out The Raven and the Dove by Caitlin Davis. This is not like an older book by her. This is a new series that it just published at the beginning of this year, I believe. Or was it the end of last year? I think it was the beginning of this year. It published, and the sequel's already come out, and I'm super excited about it. I loved this book. The story was great, the characters were great, the plot was great. I really liked it. It was a very quick and fun read. And I'm really excited to dive into the sequel, and then I think there's 2 other books coming out, so it's like a 4-book series, so I'm pretty excited about that. Number 7, Oops, I Accidentally Got Decaf. Ugh, yuck. Decaf coffee is the worst. Name a book you were expecting more from. So please don't hate me, but I did not like Starsight. I was thrown off by the way the story like progressed. It was not at all what I was expecting, and it wasn't bad. The plot was great and stuff. That was fine. I wasn't expecting there to be a huge, not a plot twist, but like a plot turn. Is that a thing? A plot turn? Like, the book just went a direction I was not expecting. It was still enjoyable because I love Spensa and Mbot and Doomslug are like the best trio ever. But I just wasn't expecting the direction the plot went in pretty much the very beginning of the book. So I was expecting something different. I won't say I was expecting really more from it, but I was definitely expecting something different from this book. And then the last question, number 8, The Perfect Blend. Name a book or series that was both bittersweet and ultimately satisfying. So for this one, I had to go with Daughter of Smoke and Bone. The whole trilogy just basically wrecked me. The ending is satisfying, but there were a lot of very bittersweet moments along the way, and a lot of sad things happened, but it was, in the end, not everything works out, because that's just not how it happened, but the ending was satisfying for this trilogy. So that is my last book, and that is the Coffee book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, I will tag both the original creator and then the person that I found it below in the description bar. Let me know what any of your answers to these questions would be, and if you commiserate with me on any of my complaining about these books. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in another one. Bye!